What we've got is we're working in partnership with the Isle of Man government. So it's a 2-year partnership starting last year, and we were one of 3 charities that were lucky enough to receive the international partnership grant with the government. And one of the conditions of that is that we raise 10% of the value given. So last year we raised over £30,000. This year we need to raise the remaining £46,000. So it's a big push this year for Christian Aid Week.
So how are you going to go about making that a definite?
Oh, absolutely. It's so amazing on the island, watching everybody pull together. This year we've got a commitment from the Churches Alive in Man CAME meeting, which is all the heads of churches on the island, that they're going to give us 100% backing to make that target so we can meet the government's grant. It's such a great project that we're doing over there. Burundi, as you'll perhaps be aware, and the listeners hopefully will be aware, is where Harry Owens went and did his beekeeping training. So there's been lots of talk about it, and I think people are really getting to know Burundi. And that's one of the things, that's one of the aims from the international partnership agreement with the Isle of Man government, is that we start talking about international issues and we get to know a bit more intimately. It's not just a cheque that's written and sent off. We get to know the actual people behind it. And the people in Burundi are just absolutely fantastic. It's one of the world's poorest countries. Completely mind-blowing. A couple of years ago I went on a self-funded trip there to go and have a nosy to see what it was all about, and the people are just it's a completely different place from where we're sat today. They've got all sorts of pressures, lack of food, either not enough water or too much water. They're on the sharp end of all this climate change that's in the news recently, and to be able to see that with your eyes and to know that the Isle of Man money is going over there to help these people, and it makes a real difference to their lives.
We talk about there's obviously a lot of sort of third world countries that do require a lot of charity support. What in particular was it about Burundi that made the Isle of Man want to get involved?
Well, I think the thing is, when we're looking at these developing countries, we're looking at how we can help them develop sustainably. And I think that was one of the key issues that the government liked in this project, is the value for the Manx pounds that they're getting. And also, it's a project that's going to live on forever. So what we're doing over there at the moment is we're laying the foundations that once the education and the training and the foundations is complete, they'll be able to up and run and keep it going and growing through generations to come. So it's not just a one-off, drop some money in, run. It's a long-term plan that we've got. So Christian Aid Week this week is specifically focusing on the female sunflower growers in Burundi. And it's fascinating. We get groups of women together. I'm afraid it is, sorry gentlemen, it is the women who lead on this. We get groups of these women together and they all learn how to do the farming. They learn how to look after the crops properly. It's completely different farming techniques from the Isle of Man. So, for example, they hand chop grass and lay it down between the seeds to help keep the moisture in the soil. And it's all these little techniques that we teach them to make sure they get the best crop possible.
And just finally, I suppose, because we are short on time this morning, how much difference do you believe schemes like Christian Aid make on a global scale as well as just the Isle of Man's input?
Absolutely, massively, fundamentally important. These people are in situations, we're only here by an accident of birth, and it's our responsibility to help other people that aren't as fortunate as ourselves, particularly when we're looking at all these global weather changing patterns and this climate crisis that we're in at the moment. We've got a responsibility to do what we can to those people who are at the sharp edge of the climate changing.
Well, if people want to make a donation, how do they get in touch and do that?
They can get in touch with me directly, telephone number 474275. I'll be on Facebook, and there's also, you can donate this year online. If you Google, or other search engines are available, Christian Aid Isle of Man, you can make a direct donation there.
And we'll make sure those links and information are on our website as well.
Smashing.
Louise Whitelegg, thank you very much for joining us
Thank
this
you, Alex.
morning.